with the anti-Semitic attacks plaguing the country, with the nation's leaders and police forces ramping up their response.
Today, we'll see the Federal Police Commissioner meet with his state counterparts as the agency investigates if foreign masterminds are behind the attacks.
We have team coverage for you this morning. Let's go first to Today Federal Politics reporter Liz Daniels in Canberra. Liz, good morning to you. The AFP looking into a more coordinated response.
It is Carl and Sarah. Good morning. State and Territory leaders were briefed by the Federal Police Commissioner at a snap cabinet meeting yesterday afternoon in the wake of that latest firebombing, this time on a Sydney preschool. The AFP revealing it's now looking into whether a spate of anti-Semitic graffiti and multiple arson attacks in Sydney and Melbourne have actually been carried out by local criminals paid potentially in cryptocurrency by overseas actors. Another line of inquiry is whether young Australians are being radicalised online, encouraged to commit hate crimes. The Prime Minister yesterday convening that meeting after days of pressure from both the opposition and the Jewish community, led by his hand-picked special envoy to combat anti-Semitism. Now, in order to help police investigate these hate crimes, premiers and chief ministers have agreed to set up a national database to coordinate intelligence. The AFP Commissioner says more arrests are imminent.
Liz, thank you. Let's bring in Jack Hahn at the scene of Sydney's most recent attack in Maroubra. Jack, good morning to you. The New South Wales Police strike force is being beefed up.
Yeah, you're right about that. There is a noticeable boost in police patrols right across Sydney this morning as a special strike force is beefed up, not only with an extra 20 investigators, but quite simply with extra officers on the job, on the beat, patrolling sensitive sites right across the city of Sydney. Those extra investigators, though, will be busy trying to figure out who was responsible for burning down this childcare centre in Maroubra, and we know that the Premier was fired up yesterday when talking about it.
It is completely disgusting, and these bastards will be round up by New South Wales Police. It breaks your heart that we have animals in our city that are prepared to burn down a childcare centre to make this point.
Operation Shelter has been set up targeting people who are perpetrating crimes similar to this. So far, they have arrested 180 people, 40 of them for specific anti-Semitism offences. Carl.
Jack, thank you.
At least 66 people have been killed and 51 others injured after an horrific hotel fire at a ski resort in Turkey. Live to 9 Europe correspondent Hannah Sinclair in London. Hannah, some people were forced to jump from windows.
Yeah, that's right, Jane. Truly devastating scenes. And the Turkish government says it has arrested 4 people, including the hotel's owner, after some of the guests had to jump for their lives to try and escape the flames. More than 200 people were staying at the hotel at a popular ski resort in Turkey's northwest when a fire broke out in the restaurant around 3:30 in the morning. The flames quickly took hold and it became a scene of panic and desperation. Guests could be heard yelling to people below that they couldn't get out and that they needed help. Others tied sheets together from their windows to get out of the building. At least 66 people were killed. Dozens more were injured. Authorities say some people died jumping from the building. One of the survivors says no fire alarm went off. Instead, he woke to the smell of smoke. The fire has now been put out, and Turkey's President Erdogan has vowed to hold those responsible to account and declared a day of mourning. Jane.
Hannah, thank you. After an historic return to the White House, President Donald Trump is wasting no time ushering in what he promises to be a new golden age for America. Nine's US correspondent Lauren Tomasi is live in Washington, D.C. Lauren, what is in store for Trump's first full day in office?
Another busy day ahead, Jane, and Donald Trump has begun today by heading to a national prayer service. This is the final ceremonial component of his inauguration, and he was joined by his entire family, really, along with the Vice President J.D. Vance at the National Cathedral here in Washington. That is the site where just a couple of weeks ago the late President Jimmy Carter was farewelled. This prayer service is something that has been held after inauguration for close to 100 years. It is one of multi-faith, and at one point during that service we saw the pastor there pleading with Donald Trump to spare any LGBTQ people along with illegal immigrants. Both of those groups we know are being targeted by Donald Trump in his sweeping amount of executive orders. He's already signed into law more than 200 of those executive orders over a vast range of issues which he'd promised right throughout his election campaigns. One of the major ones he's signed in is a sweeping pardon for more than 1,500 people who were convicted of crimes relating to the January 6th insurrection in 2021. One of the most notable people there is the former leader of the Proud Boys, Enrico Tarrio. He was serving 22 years behind bars for seditious conspiracy. This morning, he has walked free. One of the police officers who was protecting the Capitol on that day has spoken out about his devastation that the men that beat him are now being walking out of jail.
Oh, I have been betrayed by my country. Rest assured, I have been betrayed by my country, and I've been betrayed by those that supported Donald Trump. Whether you voted for him because he promised these pardons or for some other reason, you knew that this was coming, and here we are.
So while you have a big group celebrating there, there's also the other side of this. Some people very, very disappointed that this action has been taken. Either way, Donald Trump ploughing ahead. He is expected to sign many more of those executive orders today. And his press secretary says she won't be giving a briefing on day one. It will be up to Donald Trump, who has a, quote, big announcement coming about an infrastructure project. We'll wait to see, Jane.
We sure will, Lauren. Thank you. A massage parlour in Sydney's southwest has been held up by armed thieves. Police were told two men came into the Liverpool business allegedly armed with knives before making off with cash and a handbag. No one at the site was injured. A man has been charged with multiple offences, including 2 counts of attempted murder after he was shot by police in Brisbane earlier this month. The ordeal leaving one officer with a gunshot wound to the leg. Court documents revealing Tyson Athman is also accused of assaulting a woman at the Princess Alexandra Hospital and breaking into his elderly next-door neighbour's home.
All of a sudden the bathroom door flew open, and he pulled the shower door open because I got a bloody fright.
The 26-year-old also remains under police guard in hospital in a stable condition and will face court next week. A man has been arrested after the body of a father of 2 was found at a playground in Melbourne's outer west. Anne-Morel Bourgeois had been picked up from his home in Melbourne on Monday night, where locals told 9 News they heard yelling at the park. His body was then discovered the next morning.
You imagine 6-year-old kid, Dora, she doesn't know, she's asking us, when is Papa going to come? We have no answer. He was a very lovely person, happy, always smiling. The best brother I have in the world.
The arrested man is believed to be known to the victim.